So something a little bit different today. Popped to see a good family friend, some good family friends, Gary and Angela. They've been friends with James's family for a long time, and absolutely lovely people. And they're doing a bit of farm diversification. They've decided to open a pumpkin patch, and we've heard all about these pumpkins all over the last couple of months, getting loads of pictures of them, and I thought they'd better come and have a little look for ourselves. So down at Auntie Angie's pumpkin patch near Doncaster, and it looks absolutely amazing. And so does Auntie Ange. So Auntie Ange, she's all dressed up. Look at this. Here she is.
Hi.
There's Auntie Ange. So Ange, we've got some pumpkins, haven't we? It looks really good. Shall we have a little wander?
Yes.
So it's not been the best. We're going to have a chat with Gary because he's been very excited about his pumpkins. We've been hearing all about them and getting loads of text messages with pictures of your pumpkins, but it's all coming together now, isn't it?
Yes, hopefully it is coming together. They are looking nice. We've had a bit of a, with the hot weather, but, they are looking orange and very round and wonderful.
Like pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
So obviously it's a bit of a diversification thing for you, isn't it? And it's a new project, and it's quite daunting, isn't it, starting something completely from scratch? But are you happy with how it's gone so far?
At the moment, it's been wonderful nurturing all the pumpkins, and it's been very interesting, for me and my husband, for doing something
a bit different, isn't it? So you've known James and his family for a long time, haven't you?
Yes.
Like, how long have you and Gary been together?
Around about 40 years.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and James is, I'm not going to say how old James is, but anyway, James, basically you've known James from he was being a little boy, and Gary used to work on the farm, didn't he? And and so Gary's really into his farming, but you had another business, didn't you, up until just before COVID, and sadly things have changed, haven't they? And now it's about a bit of diversification. Look, you look absolutely fab. But just hang on a sec. Let me just have a look at you. Look, wave to us, Ange. You look amazing. So anyway, obviously we're still we're probably about a month away from the Halloween season, aren't we? So the pumpkins have got a bit more time to grow. I mean, you're not just the face of this, are you, Auntie Ange? Let's look at it, because we've got a bit of light this way. You're not just the pretty face, let's say. You were actually planting.
I planted all the seeds, every one what you can see, and I've looked after all the plants and the pumpkins. Every night, weeded every night, even in the rain.
So you've been doing loads of. The Gary built the planter, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then sat you on the back of it.
Yes.
And it worked, didn't it? It worked. It was amazing.
Absolutely. This would have took us a few days. Where with the machine,
if you were doing it by hand,
yeah, with the machine, it took us just around about 2 days.
So you were sat on the machine and you were basically putting the seeds down, and the drill that Gary made was putting them in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. And they took quite a while to emerge, didn't they? But they look great. I don't think it's been the best year for pumpkins anyway. So to have a crop in your first go, but I mean, there's not a weed in sight, is there? I mean, you've been hoeing.
I have been hoeing every night. It's very therapeutic on my own, weeding every night. It's been very enjoyable.
So the next stage, we're going to talk a little bit to Gary about the sort of farming side, but it sounds like you've been actually putting the legwork in.
Yes, 100%.
But we're going to... obviously the next step is you have a pumpkin patch, but you're going to have loads of kids running around. You've got your wheelbarrows, haven't you?
Mm-hmm, yes.
And has Gary painted them, or have you been painting them?
No, Gary's painted them.
And they look amazing as well. So the hope is to obviously get families down here and getting them actually picking the pumpkins off the field. And you're going to have some activities as well?
Yes. Face painting and, more activities.
Well, there's like loads of selfie points, isn't there? So there's places for kids to go and have the pictures taken, and so you've really thought it through, haven't you?
Yes, for the first year, we've tried to do it on a low.
Well, like a low budget, to kick off and see how it goes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got loads of selfie points, and yeah, hopefully it's a big success for you. And are you going to dress like this every day then?
Of course.
Is this is Auntie Angie?
This is
isn't it?
Auntie Angie.
This is your
This is Auntie Angie.
your alter ego.
Yes. This
So-
is Auntie Angie.
And Auntie Angie has actually planted the pumpkins and been taking care of the pumpkins.
Yes, 100%.
Can we go and sit on your chair? Is that a selfie point?
Yes.
Let's go and have a little go. Here we are, in the middle of Auntie Angie's pumpkin patch. Oh, way up. Who's that? It's a little bit spooky. I mean, it's actually a nice day today, isn't it? But probably come October, it's going to be a little bit
Hopefully. Fingers crossed it'll be like this.
Yeah, there's a lot more people. There's quite a lot of pumpkin patches been popping up around, hasn't there? But you haven't got one
In this area.
in this area. But it's become a bigger and bigger thing, hasn't it, for the kids to celebrate Halloween and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, it really has. You know, in England, it's, you know, the pumpkins. You know, it's one of the main.
Well, it's the main thing that happens in October, isn't it, with the kids? And,
the pumpkin is a big.
and it's around half-term time as well, isn't it? So
Yeah, and it's nice to get the kids out in the fresh air and see how it's grown and see what it's all about.
yeah,
You know, fresh air
bit of fresh air.
and wellies.
You got your wellies on. Look at these wellies. Look, woo! Yeah, they're lovely. They are. So no, I think it looks absolutely amazing, and hopefully, well, I think we'll be popping back in October to see how you're getting on. Hopefully, we get a lot of people here, and the pumpkin patch will be double the size next year. But no, diversification is really important, isn't it, on farms? And it's not easy to think of ideas of things to do. Yeah.
It was just a thought, and look at it now. And by just planting seeds, we've got a good crop.
You've got a nice pumpkin patch, and then obviously you've been doing all the extra bits around the outside and dressing all the tractors and making the photo points, and it looks absolute. This is the first day where it's been fully dressed, isn't it? So
Yes. Yeah.
Does it make you excited then?
It really is. It's just, you know, for this day to come, you know, since May when we planted the seeds, it's just amazing. You know, nobody can believe where we've been and where we are today. It's just incredible.
So when I post this video, I'm going to put in the links below the web address with all the information of how to find Auntie Angie's pumpkin patch. I think you're opening in the middle of October, aren't you?
Yes, the 15th of October.
So come down and see Auntie Angie.
Yeah,
she'll
and
be
see
here.
me. I will be here.
She looks amazing.
Happy and smiling.
And grumpy behind you will also be
yeah.
in a way. But no, it looks amazing. And congratulations, and I can't
Thank
wait to see it up
you.
and running.
Thank you.
So we're going to chat to Gary now. Gary's put a lot of energy and effort into this. He's the one behind the scenes. Not you, Gaz.
I have, Jen.
I don't know if any of you remember last year, Gary came and helped us out with harvest. I didn't actually do much videoing because we were getting ready for the wedding and everything, weren't we?
That's
but,
right, we're very busy. We had a very busy season, didn't
Gary's, you've known the family a long time, haven't you? So
I have,
you've
a lot
known
of years.
Yeah, you've been involved.
Since well before James was born.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Ken
Then,
and
isn't
Linda
it?
were young people then.
So you obviously used to work on the farm, didn't you, with
home
Ken
house,
many years ago here in Doncaster. They were just explaining that obviously before COVID, during COVID things have changed a bit, and now you're trying a bit of farm diversification.
Yeah, that's correct. Everything, the life got turned on its head. And you get on, don't you? You move on. You have to move on.
So that led you to building this little beauty, didn't it? So let's have a quick look at your contraption. So we're just talking about, obviously, Angela was sat here, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I think we've got a little video of that somewhere. But yeah, talk us through it. What's the crack then here? How was this built?
Well, what happened was that we decided to open a pumpkin patch this year. Let Angie have a go. It's Angie's time to shine. So it come to planting the seeds, and it either walk up and down the field, dropping the seed and then kicking it up with your foot, or make life that little bit easier. So I went back to old school now. Like you said earlier, when I worked for Ken, and Ken's father, Clarence, we used to go tatey planting with a machine. They had a big wheel on and a bell string, and you dropped the tatey down the chute. So they're long gone. And I thought, you know something, I could use the same principle. But rather than have a bell ringing, put a line on the tyre. So when the white line hits the mud guard, drop a seed. And that got your spacing right then. And we've since learnt that some of these pumpkins are bush varieties, not vines. So the spacing could have been
a lot
narrower. But we spaced them to suit the white lines on the tyre to start with. But I think at some point Auntie Angie got a bit bored and just started chucking them any old now. So that's how we've ended up with.
So basically, you've come up with the idea of diversifying here on the farm, and you've, but you didn't want to spend a load of money in case it didn't work, did you?
That's right.
So you've used a bit of home engineering,
bit of old scrap metal, and a bit of intuition,
and you've basically
made this basically.
Yeah, and it's worked, hasn't it?
It's worked perfectly.
So when you first planted them, I mean, they took a little bit of a time to establish, didn't they?
That's
and
right,
you little bit worried about it.
Yeah, some worrying moments because, you know, we've never grown them before, didn't know what stage they should be at when, but as you can see, they've come. But like all other farmers, like yourselves, like James with his crop, one thing these need, everything needs, is water. And we haven't had it this year.
No, we haven't.
So we've got what we've got. You have to make the best of what you've got under the conditions that we've got.
Well, to be honest, when we looked at, you know, we considered, well, actually, a friend of ours, Annice, she's pumpkin mad.
Yeah.
She's got a pumpkin patch sort of towards Boston in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
And she's doing amazing with it. But she knows a lot about pumpkins, and she said it's not been the best year for pumpkins just because of the lack of water. She was trying to convince us to have a go at a pumpkin patch, but Gary, I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. We've
done his best, Jen. We've given it his best shot. And we've got what we've got. It's just, like you say, purely and simply down to the weather.
Yeah.
Not enough water.
Well, let's go and take a little look, because you've grown a few different varieties, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a few different varieties there.
So if we can step over the fence here, can't we?
Yeah, it's not turned on. I don't think it is.
Right, so, you know, the patch, I mean, you've obviously been doing a lot of work getting it all dressed up and everything. There are pumpkins here. Some of them are probably a little bit on the small side, but you've got some big pumpkins as well. So what did you do? Just pick a random variety and then sort of hope for the best, or how did you decide?
I picked some random varieties, see how they grow, which grow best, which are going to be most popular, because not everybody wants a pumpkin that you can't carry.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I put quite a few different varieties in.
And people are doing like displays of pumpkins now, aren't they?
And people put them in fruit bowls and things on the tables and make a pumpkin, you know, like you say, a display for autumn. And you've got a variety, you can do that, you know, from big ones. If you walk over here, Jen, we've got some, what I would call dressy ones. And also...
You've got some knobbly ones?
Yeah, then we've also grown somewhere a little kid, a little toddler can carry it.
Yeah.
I think it's that row there, look, there's some pretty little pumpkins.
I mean, you've been a little bit worried about the mildew, haven't you? And
been very worried, yes.
That's only really come in the last couple of weeks, but it's only on some varieties by the look of things.
That's right, then this year a lot of plants have got male flowers, not female. And obviously it's a female that needs to pollinate, you know, but I spoke to a few pumpkin growers. I'm trying to spot you a female if I can, but I can't. A lot of growers have got the same problem.
So can you explain the male and female thing? Because I don't think a lot of people understand that actually you need both. I can.
If we can find a female, I can fully explain to you. They're your pretty little ones. Look for you.
Oh yeah, look, we've got some, because people are doing a lot of displays and stuff with them now.
Yeah, they're little tiny ones, and in this row they're all different colours. There's white, there's really red, orange.
They were the people that tried to steal some pumpkins.
Yeah, I caught them. We caught them, and well, what can you do these days? You know, police don't do anything. So I just thought, right, we'll lock the buggers up ourselves. And
yeah, they look a bit hungry.
Yeah, but that's what you get for pinching.
So yeah, like you said, you've got some vine varieties, haven't you? We've got some.
These vine varieties, these bush varieties.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find you a female so I can explain to you the differences. Now that could be female if you open the plant up. You can see an obvious male by the stem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into what that looks like, but
Yeah.
that's a male.
And
A female is lots of them, a lot smaller, in a circle.
So I don't know if we can find. Is that?
There you go,
There we go.
female. So hang on, Jill, I'll break your male off just 1 second. So
That's a female plant.
that's a male plant
Yeah.
with the one stem.
Yeah.
That's a female plant. So the bees come along, take the pollen off there, and as daft as it sounds, you can break it off, and you can shove it in there, and that plant is now pollinated.
So the bees do it then basically, or the insects do it, or by carrying the pollen from a male into a female.
Yeah, the leaves shaking, the pollen in the air and land, and that turns that then into a pumpkin.
pollinated plant. Yeah.
So what happens then is that's done that, and the little pumpkin at bottom, look, that will then grow into
One
that
of these.
potentially.
See, I mean, this is obviously one of your bigger varieties, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of the bigger ones. That once it's chopped, that will turn orange.
I mean, when I spoke to Annice, like I said, my friend she's had a pumpkin patch for a few years, she said at this stage this isn't really a problem. Obviously, when you're first starting out, it's difficult to know what variety to go for.
That's correct.
It's difficult to know what variety to go for. What
It is.
What to spray, what not to spray, if you need to spray.
That's right.
And Angie's been telling me that she's been doing a lot of the hoeing.
Angie's been hoeing, yeah, doing a lot of
caretaking.
going, having a lot of water with my little sprayer, giving them a drink, but of course,
Yeah, you need
tap
a bit
water
of rain.
hasn't got the nutrients that rainwater's got.
No.
But
But it
gives
looks
them a
good.
drink.
It looks good. So I mean, you've now obviously been dressing everything
Yeah,
and doing sort of the extra stuff for
That's right.
for people coming here, and you must be quite pleased with how it's all looking.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like I say, it's lack of rain, isn't it? The big bare patch is what you can see. That's where the birds came and ate the seeds.
It's just like any. It's
Looks
like
like-
it's the same for us as it has been for you. On when we're
That's
trying to grow
right,
plants,
yeah.
if they don't get away very well, then you've got your risk of
That's right.
of birds coming and picking out
Yeah.
the seeds, and if they don't establish well, you've got risk. I guess slugs and stuff would also be after these.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, apparently, from what I can gather, slugs and rabbits and things don't like them.
Ah, right. Well, that's
They-
one bonus, isn't
Yeah,
it?
to take a bite and then spit it out because they don't like it. It must be bitter or I don't know. But we haven't really had much of a slug problem and a rabbit
I
problem.
mean, you've said that it was a low budget thing this year. You've obviously made the machine to plant them, which has
Yeah.
worked really well.
Yeah.
And now you've got everything dressed and everything. It's about advertising and trying to get a few bums on
It's
seats.
all about
isn't
getting
it?
some bums on seats, yeah, or feet on the ground, shall we say, pushing a barrow.
So variety-wise, we've got obviously this is a big. That's going to stay that colour, isn't
Yeah.
it? Big green pumpkin, and
Yeah.
then you've got some lighter coloured pumpkins. You've got big pumpkins. You've got
white
small
ones,
pumpkins.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there a favourite now? Would you say for growing for next year?
Yeah, probably Harvest Moon.
Which are they?
The
Then?
Harvest Moon are these ones here, these orange ones across there.
Yeah.
They're Harvest Moon. These are what you call polar bear.
I like these. They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
they
really
should
they're
go
good
white.
looking- Good looking pumpkins.
Yeah, we've got Carry. That's a variety. That's a smaller variety. That's like these over here.
It's really exciting, Gary, and it's nice because obviously you've been sending us loads of updates. Sending me and James updates over WhatsApp and pictures and
Yeah.
everything. So it's really nice to come and actually have a look at them for myself, and I'm really excited for you. And it's
Very good of you to come, Jen.
yeah, we're going to do a bit of advertising. Aren't we? We've got
Yeah.
taken a few pictures and stuff, and try and get it online and try and get a few people through the gate. And
Hopefully.
you've done your wheelbarrows, haven't you? You got your
Yeah, we've done all the wheelbarrows. We'll get some more next year if we do well this year.
and then
We'll
you've
add
done
to
your
the fleet.
you've been tidying your little tractor up as well, haven't you?
The
And,
tractor, yeah, I've sandblasted that. That was just a bag of scrap, but it was similar to this actually when it came.
So
So
I mean, it looks quite spooky in the field, that one, doesn't it?
yeah, so we've sandblasted.
Ah, the
it all
kids are going to have a
down.
great time, aren't they? And
Hopefully, it's all about fun, isn't it? It's all about that experience.
and Auntie Angie, she looks amazing, doesn't she?
She looks gorgeous. Can't wait to get her. I can't see that, can I? She does.
Auntie Angie looks good, doesn't
She
she?
does. She looks very, very good.
She's got a cup
Bless
of tea
her.
now. So anyway, we'll sign. That's you know, it's been really interesting to hear about your pumpkin growing, and
Thanks
for showing us around your patch. And we've got a few pictures, and like I said before, if you want to come and visit Auntie Angie's pumpkin patch, Auntie Angie will be here. It's not far. You're not far from Doncaster, and I'm going to put a link in the box below.
Brilliant, thank you. Look forward to the next episode.